Hello, it's Lynn Watts here with Wyatt the Wonder Dog Books. And today I want to continue a discussion about some workbooks that you could use if you are either counseling, working with students who have a lot of anxiety, stress, worry, that sort of thing. Very common problem today. And no doubt you have some students that you're concerned about. Both of these are workbooks. They're designed as workbooks. So you could potentially give the workbook to a child and help them work through it. You could also use them in a small group, and you could take each of the chapters and share that particular topic and use the exercises that they have in the book for that small group. I also think that both of them would be very useful and easily put into practice by a parent, a caregiver. So you wouldn't have to be a counselor in order to use the workbooks. They're designed so that they could, you could use them easily with kids. And in addition to that, both of them are written by a therapist. So they have very sound principles behind them. So let me start with the very first one, which is one that I used when I was doing groups in elementary school for students with anxiety. And it is called What to Do When You Worry Too Much, a kid's guide to overcoming anxiety. It is written by Dawn Hubner. I'm not sure I'm saying that right. Huebner. She is a psychologist. She has a PhD. So the book is laid out really very nicely. It has a lot of nice big illustrations, which I think will, hold a child's attention. And then it has content that they could easily read. It's spaced out nicely. And then it has activities. Like this particular one suggests that rather than worrying all the time, that you set aside a particular worry time and that you stick to worrying only during that time. You've probably heard of that kind of strategy before. And so here is a nice big uh, graphic where you create your worry time, a reminder for your worry time. So the book is nicely laid out. I'm going to tell you some of the topics for the chapters. It starts out by talking about worry. What is a worry? Are you growing worry? It kind of compares it to growing a plant. It talks about how they get started. It has a chapter on making worries go away, spending less time on worries. There's a chapter on self-talk, talking back to worries, also resetting your system, and then, planning for the future, keeping worries away. And then the last one of chapters are very encouraging. You can do it. So those are the titles of the different chapters. Let's see. So that makes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You could easily do it in a kind of a lengthy small group. I don't think you could combine them very well. I think each chapter is going to pretty much have a lot of information that you're going to want to cover in one session or one group session. So really, really a nice book. Again, it's called What to Do When You Worry Too Much. All right, all about anxiety. And again, you wouldn't have to be a counselor to use this. You could easily just share it with a child and read the material with them. It has some good practical ideas. The other book that I wanted to talk about is called Braver, Stronger, Smarter. This one is designed for girls, a girl's guide to overcoming worry and anxiety. It is written, as you can tell, by Sissy Gall. She is the director of child and adolescent counseling at Daystar Counseling Ministries in Nashville, Tennessee. She is a therapist who works exclusively with girls and with their parents. So she's written a lot of books. This is the only workbook that I'm aware of that she's written. But all of her books are really excellent, lots of good information, some of it for parents, or most of it for parents about, uh, girls, their stages, all kinds of things that are relevant. This particular book that she wrote because so many of her clients experience, as is true in society today, anxiety and worry. So she wanted to create a workbook for that. It is designed, it says, for elementary age. I would tell you there's a lot of copy in this book. For instance, here's one of the pages you can see. I think that there's a lot uh, in there to read. So while, yeah, I think a fifth grader could probably do it, you could easily take this book into middle school or high school. Um, you do need somebody who, if you're going to actually have them work through the book in terms of reading the material and then doing the exercises that they suggest, you're going to need somebody who likes to read and is a pretty decent reader in order to stick with it, I think. Like the other book, it is laid out really very similar in terms of the topics for each of the chapters. Let me kind of give that to you as well. It starts by talking again about what is worry, where do they come from, um, why me, why do you worry, and then she divides it up, and I think this is a pretty interesting way to do it. She divides it up into help for the body. In other words, how does your body respond to worrying and stress? Help for your mind, and that pretty much deals with thoughts. And then help for your heart, which pretty much deals with emotions. All right, so interesting way to divide it up. And of course, each one of those sections has ideas for identifying feelings, for strategies that you can do. Both of them have some focus on breathing exercises, relaxation kind of exercises, and both of them have an encouraging chapter in the end. I will say that the therapy clinic where Sissy works is a Christian-based clinic. There is not a lot of reference to it, but there is a Christian flavor to this, and there is a Bible verse or two that's listed in here. So I think that's important to know. So again, this one is called Braver, Stronger, Smarter, Girl's Guide to Overcoming Worry and Anxiety, Sissy Gall. You can find both of the books, of course, on Amazon. But I think that it's always useful to have some sort of structure if you want to work with and make a difference in a child's life in terms of anxiety and worry. So I hope those are helpful to you. And I want to encourage you in uh, continuing to make such a great, important difference in children's lives today. Thanks for listening.